Hello and welcome to today's video on how to use Slack. The objectives of this video is to first define what is Slack, how to set up Slack, how to use Slack, and how to switch between teams and channels. So let's begin. So I'm sure you have probably seen or heard or maybe possibly even forced to use Slack, and you're wondering what is Slack? Well, Slack is a tool that's used to open collaborate between coworkers. Slack is a productivity and chat forum. It's a platform for team communication and collaboration. So to get started with Slack, if you are joining a team, somebody may set you up. But if you are your own proprietor business owner and you want to set up Slack, then what you need to do is you need to download the actual tool, which is at slack.com. I put the link here on the slide. And you'll need to create a team or join an existing one and then invite others that you'll be chatting with. So once your chat is all set up, you can use channels to communicate publicly and send direct messages for private exchanges. And while chatting, you can use special formatting and add emojis and reactions and track mentions and share files and so much more. And that's what we're going to discuss in today's short video. So let's look at first how to set up Slack. So if you have not downloaded Slack, like I said, you can go to slack.com. Once you download it, you'll enter in your email and then click Create Team. Now this is an email you want to enter that you're going to use the whole time using Slack and anybody that you're going to be communicating with. So make sure it's an email that you're freely prepared to give out. So in order to proceed then, you'll need to enter in a 6-digit security code. So what you do is when you download Slack and you create your team, you're going to get emailed to the email address that you enter a security code. So go and open that email address and then put that in and go ahead and do that so you can get registered. And then in the group name field, you will enter in a team name, whatever the group team name is going to be, and then you click Next. You're going to enter in your domain URL. So if you're running a business, you're going to do that. You're going to put in domain URL and click Next. And note that all the domains in Slack will end in .slack.com. So if your website is mywebsite.com, it's going to be mywebsite.slack.com. Okay? You're going to enter in your name or username and click Next, and then you're going to review all the details and click Create Team. You will then be directed to your team's chat room, and then you can start inviting people that you want to join to your team, which is the screen that you see here. Now, how to use Slack for different things. First, for direct message. This is pretty easy. Just like you would on any other social media, they have DMs here in Slack as well. So you create a channel and you invite the others like you did in the last step. And then you're setting whether your channel will be public or private. And this is like creating a group in Slack. And then within the channel or group, you'll be able to read and respond to messages within your channel. So to send your team message to send your team member a direct message, what you would do is you click on the little plus icon next to the direct message menu on the left, which is what you see on this screen. And then you're going to enter the team member's name, and a direct message channel will be created on the left bar for you to have a private communication with that person. So for instance, what you see on the screen here says direct messages in the plus. You click that, and let's say, for instance, Wiki How To is who you want to do it. You'll see it all of a sudden appear like you see on this screen on your left menu bar. You simply type in your message and then you click enter, and it sends a direct message to that person. Editing message. Let's say you're typing really fast like you do on your phone and you fat finger something and you're like, oh, that was atrocious. I put in the wrong word, I wrote the wrong thing, a number or something. Well, you can edit your messages so you don't have to worry about that. So in order to modify or edit a message that you just sent, just say, for instance, to correct grammar, you would hover your mouse over the right side of the message that you want to edit, and you'll see the 3-dot icon, ellipsis, which is what you see here on the screen. You would then click on this, and it'll bring up a menu to either edit, delete, mark unread, pin, or set as a reminder for that message. So you can do any of those items. But for purposes here for edit, you basically would select edit, and it would open up the message for you to edit. You make your edits to it, you click save. And just know that when you do this, the message does show as edited, so it'll show on your end and the other person's end. For notifications, if you want to adjust your notifications for a channel, say if you want to know every single time somebody sends you a direct message, you want to hear ping, you want to hear noise, for instance, then what you would do is you'd click on the gear icon in the upper right-hand side and select Notification Preferences, which is what you see here. And once you select this, you select the option that you prefer. Note that you can customize your notifications for mentions for specific words. So for instance, if somebody was sending a message in a team channel, and we'll get to teams in a little bit and channels, but say they put that and they mentioned your name, you can get a little ping or a message for your name being mentioned somewhere, which also helps making sure that it stands out, because somebody can mention your name, and unless you're reading all of the actual messages and all of the different like team strings and stuff, you may miss it. So setting a notification for that would be good. You can also temporarily disable your notifications by pressing the bell icon in the upper left, and that's always good too. So say you're off hours, you don't want to hear the pings left and right if people are submitting stuff in Slack because it comes to your phone, you can temporarily disable the notifications. So this basically is easier for finding messages easier, and then instead of searching and stuff, you can actually do this notification. Now, to find messages easier also, you can actually search for a word. You can do this by clicking the Control and F keys on your keyboard, or you can click the star icon that appears next to the timestamp of a message when hovering your mouse over it. This will add it to a list of saved messages that you can check later. And as I was just talking about with starred messages, this is what the starred message looks like if you want to save it for later. There's a little yellow star next to it. Now, if you want to get a user's attention, let's say you have like 12 people in a chat on Slack, in a channel, on a team, and they're all communicating left and right, and you want to ask a specific person a question. Instead of just posing it out to the group where you're not sure who's going to answer or people are going to answer and you don't want their answer, you would write the @ symbol in front of their name and then start typing the message. And what happens is as you write @ the select people that are on your team in that team will come up. You can either select them or you can continue writing their name. But basically what this does is it gets the user's attention to a specific message, and then you can mention them with that @ symbol, and they'll receive a Slack notification that they have been mentioned in a chat. And they can either open Slack and look at it, or if they get the notification through an email, they can click on the link and it goes directly to the message that they were that you sent the attention to. Now, if you want to add a reaction to something, like a thumbs up or a smiley face or something, you can actually add emojis in Slack. What you would do is you can simply click on the smiley face icon that displays next to the message, which you can see here on the screen. Basically, what you're doing is you're hovering over it, and you'll see the smiley face and then an arrow and then the ellipsis. You click on the smiley face and the options of the different emojis will come up in a little pop-up menu, and then you just click on whatever button it is to the emoji that you want, and then it'll show up into the message. Let's say you want to add a file, which is really, really helpful if you have spreadsheets or Google Drives or something, documents that you want to share. So if you're in the message, if you're sending it to the group, just make sure it's in whatever group that you're in. If you're sending it to a person, make sure that goes to that person. But what you basically do is to upload a file to the chat, you would see this screen on the message as you see here, the little plus sign, and you would basically tap the plus button in the chat field and then select the file, and a pop-up menu will come and select it. Or on the message all the way to the right, you'll see a little paperclip. You can click on the paperclip button on the bottom of the message also and select the file. And then once you select the file, you hit enter, it'll show. It won't send it yet. You actually have to hit send after that. But if you do that, you'll see the file in there and then you can hit send. So that's how you attach files in Slack. Now, if you need to switch between teams and channels, if you're part of multiple teams, for instance, and you are a contractor, like for instance, and you're working on multiple projects, well, you may need to switch between teams to communicate with the correct team members. So to do this, you click the team name in the upper left and choose the sign in another team option, which is what you see on the left part of the screen. If you're accessing Slack from your mobile device, you'll see a 4 square icon in the upper right, and you tap this and the team name to switch the teams. Now, if you want to switch between channels, then what you do is you click on the name under any channel heading, which you'll see on the right side of the screen here. The channel header will be on the left sidebar menu of Slack. You change the chat area to the conversation. So for instance, this arrow is pointing to random, because say there's different channels, one is general, one is random, you want to switch to random, you would just select it. And a quick keyboard shortcut for this would be Control and K to bring up the channel's quick search, and then you can select it from there. So that concludes my video on how to use Slack. I hope that helped you out. If you liked it, then go ahead and smash the like button. If you like these project management videos and you want to learn some more about other tools that project managers use, especially with team collaboration, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I upload new videos every week. Thanks.